I have a 26-year-old, a 17-year-old, wow, that's weird to say, and a 11-year-old. All right, so again, we're going to go ahead and say the disclaimer. If you are watching our show tonight, please do not watch in front of your children, or else we are not responsible for any secrets that they hear. So we're talking today about holiday horror stories or holiday issues when you've had it with a family member or a child catching holiday presents or any of that stuff. So who does hear Elf on a Shelf? Anyone?
That's a really big
I have
commitment.
retired Elf on a Shelf. My daughter officially knows the deal, and so therefore I do not stress myself out with that nightmare anymore.
Okay.
I can barely handle the Tooth Fairy.
All right.
Oh my God, the Tooth Fairy. How many times did you wake up in the middle of the night, like out of your skin?
More like at 9 a.m.
I mean,
oh,
how
my
many
God.
Oh yeah, so bad, so bad. And like, let's really talk about the Tooth Fairy. How gross. So
Wait, what's wrong with the Tooth Fairy?
seriously?
What's wrong with it?
And then what do you do with them? Do
Okay,
you keep
so
them?
hold on. You know what?
Wait, what?
Yes.
No, when our daughter,
Nasty. right?
again, make sure your kids are not watching this or listening at all.
Mhm.
When our daughter lost her first tooth, and we were all excited saying,
That's what we do.
the Tooth Fairy is going to come. The Tooth Fairy is going to come. After about an hour, she went to bed, and we heard her just crying and sobbing and bawling. And we're like, what's the matter? The Tooth Fairy is going to come. She was wigged. She started
Seriously?
screaming, crying.
So sort of like
she
Dawn's
didn't want to
monster
have
story from
yeah,
last week
she
on
didn't
the
want to
page.
have anything
talk
to
about
do
Yeah.
with the Tooth Fairy. But she
Oh,
also
man.
used to freak over, like the Chuck E. Cheese costume
Oh, yeah.
dudes and all that. She hated those things. She couldn't stand them.
She's a smart
But
kid.
we had to talk to her about and again, just in case kids hear this, we had to talk to her about the actual official state of being of the Tooth Fairy, and that led into quite a few others, and that actually turned into a big discussion about why we had lied to her all of her 5-year-old life.
Really?
She was only 5.
That's
so,
bad.
Smart
That's
kid.
bad.
Smart kid.
That's bad. So what about you? Did you guys ever do that?
Elf on the Shelf?
Mm-hmm.
No.
No,
Never?
I'll shelf
Why?
in my house.
Oh my God.
I don't have that kind of time. I work.
No.
Okay? I work and I have to maintain a house.
Don't you
Okay.
get the peer
Interesting.
pressure from
I
the
didn't do
kids?
an Elf on the Shelf, but somehow I did a Mensch on the Bench.
I did then mention a bench. So I am Jewish, for those of you who don't know.
She's gonna
And
do it
my
for me this
children, I apparently am doing it for you. So my children were very disappointed that they did not qualify for Elf on a Shelf. So somebody, I don't even know who bought it for me, have you guys ever seen the Mensch on a Bench?
Mhm.
year. It's so good.
It's like a little
It looks
small
like a little
stuffed
Jewish
rabbi, or
yeah.
something.
It's a little rabbi.
It is a
And
rabbi.
it is a rabbi.
It's
And
fantastic.
so we, I just decided that he was going to do the crazy things. So my guy's name was Jerry, and Jerry was very naughty,
So bad.
very, very naughty.
As
He-
Jewish rabbis are.
as Jewish
Yeah,
rabbis are.
Clearly.
Yes. So he did terrible, terrible, terrible
Yeah, he
things.
put makeup on the kids while they were sleeping
He-
and all sorts of
oh,
stuff.
yeah.
I remember all the
Underwear.
pictures.
Underwear hanging from the ceiling. He wrote on the faces.
Oh, yeah.
Sam and I had black tar on our faces.
Oh yeah, like
Wrote stupid things on our foreheads. Terrible, terrible, terrible
he
things.
was very naughty.
He was terrible thing. And the naughtier that Jerry was, the happier Elijah was. So it was very interesting. So one of my crazy Jerry stories was I decided always doing fun, cool things just so that it would be so crazy that only Jerry could do it. And so I came up with an idea of doing selfies. So that
Oh, yeah, that was a
Jerry
good
was
one.
going to take selfies with all of Eli's things in his room. So he took selfies. So I had to like lay on the ground and take selfies with my cell phone with Jerry doing it, not me. So it was Jerry in a selfie with his shark poster and Jerry with his stuffed
That was
animals.
good. Then she had to go have him.
Wait. This is my story, lady.
It's good.
So then I took them and I uploaded them to the 1 hour photo at Walgreens. So I had to wait till he fell asleep, then sneak and crawl in his room, take the photos, upload them to Walgreens, and then Walgreens an hour later had them ready, and I was going to hang them from the string in the dining room, so it was like selfies with Eli and Jerry. And on my way to the Walgreens,
Oh yeah,
I hit a deer.
she killed Bambi. That
I killed a deer. Not only did I kill the deer, but the deer didn't actually die. The deer was injured, and it had across the street in front of the high school where I happened to sit on the school board there. And then the police had to come, and the police had to shoot the deer on the school property. And then the next morning, the superintendent calls and says, I got a report of our first school shooting. And Bahoo, look at it, was the vice president of the school board. That is how committed I was. And I killed the deer. And I still
pulled
went
it off.
and got the pictures after the shooting and hung them up.
She
Winner.
still pulled it off.
And wasn't there like a camera that caught this too from the
Yes,
school?
there may or may not
Oh,
been
yeah,
a
she's
school
on-
camera that
yeah.
caught it, because then the superintendent and the security guys thought it was funny. So then they all had it looped in and showed everybody at the high school. And then that year for Christmas presents, the superintendent secretary gave me a deer head. So that was all from Jerry and Mensch on the Bench. That is commitment.
He's the gift that keeps on
It,
giving.
it is really, I'm trying to start a watch party here, and it is just not working.
Don't you know it's 47 simple steps?
No, it's not. I cannot find it. Anyway,
Fired.
so does anybody else have anything funny? What about you said you had something today that happened?
Well, it's not as crazy as that.
I mean, that mine was crazy.
Mine-
She
mine-
didn't kill any
we can't
wildlife
compete
in
with
the
that.
process.
My
so.
story is about 30 seconds long. I guess in my house, everybody knows you stay out of my closet for the month of December. It's just the closet door's closed. You don't go in there. Well, Eli, my 5-year-old, opened the closet door and he's like, why is there an Amazon package in your closet? He's like, who's the package for? And I'm like, did you go in my closet? And he's like, well, I just wanted to see what was going on. And I'm like, are you allowed in the closet? And he's like, well, no. And I'm like, well, then don't worry about it. And I'm like, and don't open my door ever again. And then he was like, okay. And then he's like, and then he asked if we could just have some chocolate from the advent calendar. That was about it.
That was it. No, so I think you might have gotten one too. So remember when Tracy West posted the
The what?
quesadilla maker?
The what?
So there's this quesadilla maker that's
Okay.
like, like you push.
Sounds amazing. Yes, I
You-
remember
yeah,
her posting
okay.
it, but I don't
Yeah.
remember what
Well,
happened.
so I ordered one,
Oh,
right, from Amazon. Oh, get home. It's out. It's been used.
Oh.
It was going to be Logan's Christmas present for Logan. Yeah, out, used. I'm like, the hell happened? Oh, you got something from Amazon, Mama. So I opened it. Thank you.
That's
Well,
pretty bad.
Gavin found out about Santa because he went with me shopping and I didn't properly name my I didn't properly pay attention to what I bought while he was with me versus
so you put
whatever.
the wrong label on stuff.
Right. So it was actually the gift that we were giving to my brother. I had put from Santa on there. And then after he opened it and he's like, oh, we're all like, oh, it's from Santa and blah, blah, blah. And then Gavin's like, no, it's not. That's from Walgreens. And then that was the end of that.
That's pretty funny. If you guys who are listening and watching, if you have any,
Except for my mom. My mom can't call. She's
oh no, your mother can call.
she's right
Anybody-
there. She's already defending Eli.
Hi, Linda. If you guys have any any stories that you want to call in, you can call it 312-375-7803 and tell your elf on a shelf, Mensch on a bench, or any stories that you had. What about a terrible Christmas dinner story? Anybody have one where somebody got drunk, somebody got in trouble, somebody had to get the cops called?
No, thank you.
Hi, Sally Santos. I love Jeff too.
Hi, Derek.
Hi, Derek.
If
Hi,
it was a
Misa.
situation where I was drunk, I probably don't even remember them.
There was no drinking growing
no.
up. So it
There
was
wasn't
even
any
worse.
drinking?
Yeah, we weren't allowed to drink when we were children, so I
I
don't
know.
know what happened at your house.
I mean, we just inappropriate things. My mother had inappropriate friends that would come over and talk about my boobs. That's what my holidays were like. Yes, that's true. My parents.
April's like, I think we need to do another show on another night.
That's
I need
really-
some therapy on that one.
That's
Do you have any
weird.
therapists on the air?
No, back
We do, as a matter
Yeah,
of
so maybe
fact.
Dawn
Yeah.
could be there next time.
So, but
Back then, you could say inappropriate things to people without getting in trouble. That's
Oh.
true.
Harvey
Yeah.
Weinstein. Okay, there we
Yeah,
go.
that's true.
And moving on. So, anybody have anything
No.
that their parents did to
Didn't
them that
talk
was
about
not
their boobs?
sexually explicit?
Seriously.
we had my wife's family. They don't watch any of what I do, so this is fine. I'll talk
Oh.
about my wife's family. My mother may pop on. So, but we did have the great salmonella Christmas,
Oh no!
which was unfortunately, as we were digging down deeper into the turkey that was made, discovered that it was still quite raw
Ew.
underneath.
Oh.
And so yeah, a few people, including myself, were singing praises to the porcelain god.
Oh my God. Could you
For-
imagine having
I've
somebody-
had food
Yeah.
poisoning twice in my life, and both times, like, legit wished for death.
Oh, Derek, and now it all makes sense about my dinner booth comments. Really?
Hey, ladies.
Derek.
To say hi real quick. Hi, Mary. Chef.
Hi, Mary Chef.
Mary.
That's
Yeah.
pretty funny.
Yeah,
No,
that's
You have a
funny.
new nickname now, Dinner Boobs.
dinner
Dinner
booths.
booths. So good.
My nickname's
Dinner
always about
boobs.
boobs. True story. True story. I went to Stevenson High School. Proud alumni of Stevenson High School. And in my yearbook, it literally says Dawn Boobs Berman.
Oh my god.
Kid you not. How was that even
They couldn't
allowed?
do
Could you
that
imagine now
Absolutely
having that
not.
nickname in your high school yearbook?
I couldn't. Well, I mean, if I look like I look now, because I've got the boobs, because I'm a big fat dude.
You are not a big fat dude.
You don't need a man's ear. You're fine.
Well,
A
okay.
man's ear.
All right.
Don't you
So
watch
you
Seinfeld?
remember-
You don't watch any Jewish soap. What is the matter with
I knew
you?
exactly what
Dawn
you were
has
talking about when
never
you said that.
Watched a single episode of The Goldbergs.
Seriously.
Right.
I
mean,
love
it's, like,
that show.
Hilarious.
It's
Yeah.
probably
Watched
not
it.
funny to me
And
because
she-
they're making fun of Jews.
I
That's
know
probably
it
not
is.
funny.
Yeah,
Oh
Have you
my
ever
God.
heard of that show?
If you haven't, because it's all about the 80s. So it is so hilarious for that
It's-
reason.
Just so you know, I was
It-
born in '87.
Shut up.
Oh
It's-
my
it's
God!
all
Can
about
we
the
get a
80s, but
panelist?
It's put together and produced.
Oh, shut up, Derek. Stevenson, blah blah blah.
It is put together and produced by a Jewish fellow.
So does that mean that all Jewish people should be watching shows created
No,
by
I'm
Jewish
just
people?
saying,
No,
I
but this show
I
is
watch-
so well done. It is
It's-
hilarious.
It is. It's really good.
hilarious. And then you
I
didn't
don't
watch
know.
Seinfeld?
I'm with her on that.
What?
Oh my God. So I was dying the other day when we were getting our nails done. The night before, I had watched the Seinfeld episode where Elaine brought George's dad as a spy to the nail spa because she knew that they were talking about her and he could speak Korean. So it was great. It was so good.
I didn't watch. Did you guys ever watch that either?
Seinfeld?
Yeah.
I've seen
yeah.
it.
All right. What is your favorite Christmas tradition? What is that?
We have always done opening gifts on Christmas Eve, which we started that when I was a kid, but we never did Santa. It's so sad. Like my childhood was weird. It's not sad. It's just different. I grew up in an incredibly religious environment, and Santa was
So that's
never a
just, yeah,
thing for
exactly.
us.
So yeah.
So we always did a big get together on Christmas Eve, and then Christmas morning was just like chill. We never did a big dinner. or
That sounds fun. I'm sorry not to laugh, but Sally Santos just
anything.
said,
What did she say?
that's funny because my nickname is Tits McGee, but not because I have big tits, but my maiden name is Gee.
Lasagna. Tim makes
It's
an
amazing
amazing
lasagna.
Good. Tim can bring some of that
Oh
around.
my God, Tits McGee. That
Oh
you
my
never
God.
think that was Sally
So did you
Santos.
guys then? Were you more about celebrating like the baby Jesus? And
Yes. I mean, for
Yeah.
Halloween, we dressed up as Bible characters.
No.
That's,
Church.
that's
Wow.
a good story.
Oh, yeah.
I am learning
we
so
got a lot of stories.
much
So,
about
like,
you.
what were your various costumes over the year?
Oh, gosh.
Please share.
I feel like I kind of blocked it out. But it was usually just some kind of like random robe.
A
You know,
robe?
like the
Like,
biblical
like when you
like,
watch
oh,
the
I'm married.
Peanuts. The
I'm
Peanuts
married this year.
story,
Like,
they
I
all
don't
have-
know.
You're married?
so
Is that
there
what you
was
said?
probably never a
Hilarious.
year when you went as like Mary Magdalene
Never-
or
no. Most of the time I didn't even we didn't costume. We just
Really?
went and like everybody brought a bag of candy and we
And you just
Yeah,
did a
candy at
thing.
the church.
That's interesting.
It
So
was
now,
Wow.
what about
a
now
deal.
that you have your own kids? Like, did you guys do that?
Yeah. So now that it's weird because like super cliff notes. When my kids were really small, I was still very religious, and so we still didn't really. We kind of did Santa, but I must have been kind of doing it half-heartedly because my older daughter, when she was 5, looks me dead in the eye one morning. I'm like helping her brush her teeth, so we're like at eye level, and she looks at me. If you've ever met Lauren, she's very serious. She looks at me and she goes, "Hey, mommy." I was like, "Oh God, what?" She goes, "Is Santa really a real thing?"
Oh,
Just like that. And I couldn't lie. I couldn't do it.
how old was she?
5.
5. Wow.
And I said, Santa is fun. Santa is just like character in a book, and it's fun to play Santa and pretend. I said, but you cannot tell the kids at school.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. You're like,
I
mom's the
threatened
word,
her
kid.
within an inch of
We
her
had that
life.
same
You
conversation
cannot
with
tell the
Lex.
kids at school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
You cannot tell the kids at school.
Yeah.
So you want to hear scandal?
Oh,
My kids go to Catholic school, so
that's scandalous.
that's scandalous. But no, so I personally am not religious. But I send my kids to Catholic school because I live in Waukegan and I don't want to send them to public school in Waukegan. So
Sure.
send them to Catholic school. Well, so there was a new teacher one year in the 5th grade classroom, and she spilled the beans to the 5th grade. So it was one of my friends. It was several of my friends had kids in that classroom, and several of them were only children. And like, I mean, these parents like were like,
What
I mean,
grade
like
was this?
they were in 5th grade.
Wow.
And so the teacher told them,
That's
and like, I
11.
mean, literally, whoa.
That's
I mean,
harsh.
it was like the worst. Like, you would have thought that she beat all the kids that day. I felt so sorry for the principal. Like, she literally was just like,
Yeah.
somebody please kill me. Like, this is the worst day of my life.
That's
And,
10 or 11.
I mean,
right? Fifth
yeah,
grade, 10,
yeah.
11?
yeah. Well, I mean, my son is 11.
and there were kids were crying.
Yes.
Like, it was
yeah, my
Wow.
son
so bad.
Eli's 11,
So
and
bad.
I everybody kept telling me like he still believes in the tooth fairy, he believes in the Easter bunny and Jerry and Santa Claus, all these things, and he was going into 6th grade, and they were like, he's gonna get his ass kicked. Like, so 11-year-old boy should not still be thinking about it. So we just told him this summer, actually my 16-year-old, well, he's 17-year-old, but he and I sat him down and we were like, listen, we have to tell you something, because lying is not an option in my house. You are not allowed to lie. It's like one and done. That's a huge thing in my family. And so we were petrified that he was going to be like, you're a liar. You're a liar.
Our daughter
Is
was
it-
5, and that's what we got.
You got a liar?
Oh yeah, she was livid that
So-
that in her mind we had done nothing but lie to her for the first 5 years of her life.
So
Wow.
here's
She
my
was
my question is,
furious.
what does your daughter do for a living now?
She's getting ready to go into graduate school for a PhD as an astrophysicist.
I knew it. Yep, like super science.
Derek
like, just
says-
the facts. I love it.
Derek says, wait, hold the phones. Tooth fairy is not real.
Nope, Kiki's been doing that for you all these years, Derek.
You're still losing teeth. I think that's a different
Right?
problem.
So, so we told Eli, and Eli was very confused. Like, he would get one, he got that the tooth fairy wasn't real, but then he wanted to know who was giving him the money. And so I was like, that'd be me, you're welcome. And then it was, well, who's the Easter bunny? And Sam starts, because Sam is 6 years older than Eli. So Sam started to do things. That was the fun for Sam, was he got to do all this. And so Sam was like, that'd be me, buddy. And Eli's like, who wrote on my face from Jerry? Sam's like, you're welcome. And it was, so he was so excited about that. Well, now he doesn't have any younger siblings, Eli, and all he wants to do is be the elf on a shelf or be the tooth fairy.
Aw.
So he's going to be doing it to Liz's kids.
Aw.
So that's what he gets. So instead of him calling me a big, giant liar,
Oh,
he's
do you
now
need
doing
an
it.
elf?
He could come
I mean,
over
if
and
you
do it
have
for my
one.
Eli
Yeah,
too.
she needs one.
Well,
You
I
want
actually,
Yeah.
have two
I would love
because
Sure.
because
He
I
would love
lost
it.
the one and I couldn't find
Eli,
it.
So,
doing it, and it's
here's
special
my
'cause it's
mini elf
Eli
story.
and Eli.
Oh, that would be so cool. That's true. She's going to let Eli be the tooth fairy and stuff for her, because
There you
Eli's
go.
an Eli. So big Eli doing it for little
Perfect.
Eli. That will be so fun.
There you go.
Thank you. I'll tell him tonight. I'll tell him, guess what? On our show today, you got hired as a gig.
There
So-
you
So
go.
here's my elf story.
Oh, okay.
So it's too much of a commitment. I couldn't do that. So I never signed up for Elf on the Shelf.
It is. It's stressful. It's horrible.
It was so stressful. So I never did it. But
True.
then my oldest came home from school, I think 2 years ago. So she would have been like 8-ish. She was like, Mommy, all these other people have elves and they bring them like cookies and slippers and pajamas and all these things. And,
Mhm.
but yet I thought they were not good because I always told them like, well, the elves only come because they have to keep an eye on you. So if we don't have an elf, that's a great thing for our house.
I love it. Great.
So that's what I've always told my
You're
kids.
so smart.
I'm like, no, we don't need to have anybody checking in because you guys are great. So then that year I made little elf shoes and I like scattered them throughout the house, or footprints. I made elf footprints and I scattered them throughout like a path through the house with some sugar. And they left some cinnamon rolls and a note saying, you guys have been so good. We don't need to check, but we wanted to reward you with some cinnamon rolls.
Aw.
So it just made her feel like, okay, cool.
they
we're
were
good.
here. They were here.
Right. Like it
Yeah.
exists. Well, this year, especially her, because now she's 10, almost 11 with an attitude.
Yeah.
And she's kind of being
fun,
an
isn't it?
asshole lately. Like she's really being a jerk.
They're fun.
And my 8-year-old's being a jerk. And I'm like, I need an elf for like a day to be like, okay, you guys suck. Can we like be a little nicer?
Jen will give you one.
I need an elf for a day.
Well, yeah, because
Joanne.
I have two because
And they
Panicked-
can quarantine when they
panicked.
go back.
There is actually an elf sitting in our
Oh, yeah,
shrub, our holiday shrub.
but that's not a real one.
No,
That's not a real elf. It's
No.
got to
It's
be the
So
real
I
one.
had to go
Eli
to Target after they went to sleep to go buy an elf so that I could start. And that's the other thing. So like you've got the Hanukkah thing. So you've got like 8 nights of this BS.
I mean,
It's the whole freaking month. And then
What
someone
are you
was like,
talking about? I did it
do
for
it.
30 days.
do it the day after Thanksgiving. Why the
I know. Some of them, actually, my friend
I actually
Courtney,
consider
my
buying
friend
the
Courtney came up with a brilliant
The
idea.
Mensch is fantastic.
Bro-
'cause he tortures everyone.
Elf on a Shelf came out, I think like 4 or 5 days ago, I think, or the day after Thanksgiving.
Well, you
And
can
she
do one or the other.
immediately had him in a jar quarantining for 2 weeks.
Uh,
So it
That's
literally
awesome.
says has to quarantine for 14 days before I can come out. And so
Because-
the kids are
'cause
carrying
it's-
us around.
It is super stressful. Every night
Brilliant.
you gotta have like some sort of.
I
plan
know.
for this
I
damn
did it.
thing.
None of you jerks did it. I did it for
I
years.
did it for years. It was horrible.
I remember your Minch having parties with ponies.
I did. He did it.
Oh yeah.
What did you
I
say?
will tell you a real quick story. Again, extended family, not on my side, so I'm fine with that.
Love the disclaimer.
But there was extended family who has many small children,
Uh-huh.
all boys, and they went through. They went through 3 elves on a shelf in one year, and then there was a 4th, but they got it, and then it just kind of disappeared. Probably because they did have a dog. Maybe the dog got a hold of it. Whatever. One of the kids, hey, who's playing with it? Oh no, disappeared. So they got another elf came, a replacement, because that one just maybe he had to go back to.
Right.
The
The
North,
North
Pole.
Pole.
Yeah.
And then after about 3-4 days, that one disappeared. And what the heck is going on here? So then that one must have got called back to. So they got the 3rd one, and after about a week, that one disappeared. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? And a few days after that one disappeared, their sewage system started
Someone
backing
was
up,
Flushing.
backing up. And so they got someone in, and yes, there were 3 elves on a shelf that had been dismembered, beheaded, torn apart, and flushed. And there were culprits who did cop to it because they weren't having this elf snitch on them.
That is
That's
classic.
Now,
That's amazing.
They are Italian.
I was just gonna say that.
Yeah.
I want Derek to expand on this thought here. What does he mean by who got caught with Santa? In what way did someone get
I
caught
don't know.
with Santa? Like, what does that mean?
Derek should call in because we
I feel
are
like that's
taking
a loaded
Derek,
question.
call my phone, Derek.
we are taking callers
Right?
live on the air at 312-375-7803. Right there on the screen, you'll see live calls 312-375-7803. Give us a call, Derek. And what do you mean? And no, you don't get to alternate years. You have to do this shit every year.
It's every day of December. You have to do the whole month.
The whole month. 25. It's actually like 29 days because
And
it's
the
right
worst
after
thing is
Thanksgiving.
you've got to, no, I don't do that stuff. Mine was December 1st, that after Thanksgiving thing. I'm like, I don't need to add any more days of this nightmare.
Yeah, I mean, there was lots of things. I one time took Cheerios. What?
Your friend's talking about
Courtney,
the.
Two.
For the record, what does her say? I have 2 elves. One actually has COVID and is stuck in the North Pole and Bedfest. Oh, we have a caller. All right, hold on. Hello, welcome to Wine In with Dawn. How can we help you? Hello?
Are we gonna, like,
Someone called you. They're there.
Oh my gosh, am I on the
It's
show?
Oh, it's Derek. Hi, Derek.
There's
I
gonna
tried
be a-
really hard to make my voice different, but it didn't happen.
No,
You need a
it
voice
did not.
changer.
It did not, Derek. All right, so tell us what did you mean by that?
So I really was just talking about like when you're doing Santa, and we don't have kids, so we don't get to experience this part of life. So when you're doing the Santa bit and you're setting up presents, I never, for years, until my parents told me that Santa doesn't exist, I said, how does this happen every single year? And how do you get away with it? And how do I sleep through all of this all the time?
It happens at 2 a.m.
We drug you. That's how.
I mean, you
Right.
probably got Benadryl that night. I don't know.
If it snows, I take Rich's old work boots and walk in the snow from our sliding glass door by where we have the tree, and I walk.
What time do you do that
Yeah.
though? If it's snowing, doesn't that
Oh,
cover it up?
No,
Middle
well,
of the
my
night.
kids sleep, so they don't get up to like 7 or 8. So I'm good.
So you get up at like 6 and do this?
Yeah.
My
And then there's
God.
like tracks in there. But last year, Eli at school did reindeer food where
Oh,
it's like
yeah.
glitter and oats. So I posted a picture of him holding it on Facebook saying, like on Christmas Eve, oh, we're putting the reindeer food out. And then my aunt, who will probably see this, proceeded to ask me on Facebook, what is he holding? A bag of weed?
Yeah.
No.
That has needs.
Yes, Aunt Bonnie. It's a bag of weed.
Derek, what's your
For the
favorite
reindeer.
Christmas story, Derek? Anything from your childhood? What's your craziest Christmas remembrance?
I mean, it's so funny because like my
Bag of
parents
onions.
didn't get divorced till very later in life, so I was past the age of all that kind of stuff. But my childhood was always great. I don't have anything crazy. I didn't have any drunken family members. I didn't have any crazy stuff. I mean, it was just normal Christmases. I felt like.
No boob talk?
Nobody talked about your boobs at the dinner table?
Nobody talked about your mosquito bites growing into blossoms of boobs?
I had, like, a whole day, but not-
Oh, all right. Well, thank you, Derek from Gold Shield, calling in.
Thank you guys. Take care.
Bye.
So I do
Oh my
remember
God.
one year, I was, gosh, I want to say maybe like early to mid high schoolish. And my brother had come home for Christmas and he brought a friend with him because his family, like, he had like a layover. I don't know. He had a friend with him. Ultimately, my brother lived in the city at the time. So they were just partying all Christmas Eve.
Right.
My brother and his friend, 7:30 in the morning, beers in hand, come running into my room, start jumping on my bed, and it's a thing with my family now. My brother was like, "I'm a pterodactyl! It's Christmas morning!" And he starts like screeching. Because that's what he was-
amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
She's like, Eli would
Like, I
love
could
that
do
with his
that.
dinosaur
I'm
stuff.
doing
Like,
this
he
when
would-
I get home tonight to Rich. I'm
He
just
would
gonna do
get
it
up
to
on
Rich.
a chair and perch and just go, "I'm a pterodactyl!" And he would screech because it would annoy my sister and everybody.
What does that have to do with Christmas?
He was screeching that he was a pterodactyl on Christmas morning.
But why?
I don't know.
He was
I don't know.
Because
It
it
doesn't
was
matter because now
7:30.
look, she's gonna do that tonight when she gets
It was
home.
7:30.
I'll do that to my husband. Yep.
They were still
Be
going
prepared.
from Christmas Eve.
Wow.
They hadn't been to bed.
That's
So there's
hilarious.
beer all over my bed, all over
Oh
me.
my.
I was
God.
like 15, 16 maybe.
Wow.
I don't remember, but I know Like I remember the house.
That's
so I was
fantastic.
definitely early high school.
I one of the craziest. So when I was married, we used to go to my mother-in-law, my father-in-law's house, and they lived in a beautiful house in Inverness. And my mother-in-law was famous for not liking her Christmas gifts. And my first year married to them ever.
Oh, these are some good stories.
My father-in-law got her a gold watch. He was so excited to get her this gold watch. And this is my first year in the family. We're in this beautiful house. We're sitting around the Christmas tree. And she had to get her presents last, and she had to open them, and we all had to sit around. It was all about that. And she opened up his gift, and it was a gold watch. And I swear to God, hand to God, she looked at him and she threw it at his head. And she was like, I didn't want that. That's not the one I showed you. Don't you listen to a goddamn thing I say. She started screaming at him.
Merry Christmas.
He stormed off, and everybody just continued to like talk. It was like a normal thing. And apparently, like, you know, they say the holidays brings out the worst in you. And that was my first experience. And every year after, there was always something about a gift not being great.
Well, I could talk about Rich's first Thanksgiving with my family.
Oh, what was that?
So my mom was, cooking in the kitchen and stuff, and we were at my mom's house. And so Rich and I had only been dating for, we're going to go with maybe 2 months at that point. So he comes over, and I was kind of like talking shit to my mom and like giggling, sitting on the couch next to Rich. My mom's like, what'd you say? And I like wouldn't answer, and I was just giggling or whatever. And she got mad, and she came charging out of the kitchen and just like kneed me as hard as she could in the thigh. Like,
Seriously?
yes, in front of Rich. And she's like, what'd you say? And I was like, I didn't say anything about you. And then like I told Rich, I'm like, well, welcome to the family. And I'm
Welcome
like,
to the family.
clearly we don't censor ourselves when we have guests.
Nope.
Physical violence.
Isn't that
is
the best? Like,
approved.
it's so funny though, when have you ever been to a holiday or any kind of a party where when you first get there, everybody's so prim and proper, and like
Oh my God, his
1
family's
hour later, it's
Escalates.
like
The
a
whole
shit
time?
show.
The whole time. Oh my God. Okay. So little for most people who don't know. So our house that we live in, my in-laws built, and we ended up buying our house from them. Fine. So a lot of the stories take place in the same house, which is kind of weird. But anyways, so like we would go over there and into my house now, and like everyone was just sitting in the family room watching golf or Civil War channel.
Civil
and it would just-
War Channel?
Yes.
That's very
or just the
holiday.
War Channel in general, and they'd just be like
Yeah.
watching it because 3 of them were in the wars and stuff because they were all old.
Yes, they're all-
Well, no, not
Maybe
like
it
the
was the
Civil
History
War,
Channel.
but it like just
Perhaps.
they'd always watch stuff on the,
Throwing it out there.
not the Civil War. Anyways, but they would watch stuff. And it would just, or like golf, and it'd just be singing, and they'd just be watching, and everyone would just be like prim
Super
and
quiet.
proper, and I'd be like, "So, what are we doing?" And it's like, "Nope, this is it." My kids were
Yeah.
always loud, and
We
then we
weren't
go
allowed
to
to
my
have the TV
family's
on.
house,
Mm.
and my house,
We're
my
just loud
family,
all
like
the
You got
time.
people
we're
doing the
loud.
pterodactyl.
I mean, we're
Yeah.
loud for in each other's business. Like when me and my brother and sister are together, like we are the epitome of siblings. We still bicker. We still have our jokes. Like we make fun of each other. We make fun of my parents because that's what you do. You know,
I do
Yeah,
like
it was
telling
like, this
funny
is not-
parent stories. So if those of you who are listening want to call in and tell us
Such
your
different
crazy
dynamics.
story at 312-375-7803. Joe says, I would like to hear the ladies do their version of Elf on a Shelf name, like it's Dawn on the Lawn.
Passed out.
Maybe.
And we can beat that.
So what am I, like Stefan Meth?
Oh, I like that.
Yes, girl.
Oh, I like you're good at this game.
That
All right,
was
you name
quick.
everybody. Do it. April's.
It has to rhyme?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. It's
Right,
Joe's
April.
game.
April, nothing.
Yeah, that's true.
What is April? Joe, what is
Joe,
April?
what rhymes with
What would
April?
April's
Rhymes with
elf
April.
name be?
Yeah, what?
Yeah, now you stumped me.
Maple, a little bit sticky.
What? What?
Sweet.
What?
What?
Well,
What did she say?
Welcome to After Hours with Dawn.
Pour in a drawer. Yes, Tracy. April with the chafing.
Huh?
I
I don't even
know
get that.
why I'm offended because I don't know what it means, but I'm offended. I don't know.
It just sounds like I should be offended.
Joe Cicero just
offensive.
offended April. Good one, Joe.
Yeah,
April.
thanks.
Tracy, I like horror in a drawer. I like that one. Tracy, you're supposed to be calling
Yeah,
in.
Tracy, what the
Tracy, give us a call at 312-375-7803. She is the queen of Elf on the
Oh,
Shelf.
very much.
And
She's the one that throws the shoes at her kids.
She
and
is
now
the
they
one
shop
who-
for shoes with her to find the lightest shoes.
She sent
They
me
do.
pictures the other day.
Like on the left.
Yes.
So it's amazing.
She-
her stories, yeah.
she is April in the Gable.
April in the shower.
Okay, that's kind of funny.
Oh, you got April showers, spring Mayflowers.
That you redeemed yourself, Joe. Much better.
That was funny.
Whoa.
Melissa says April in the Gable for a real estate plug.
Oh
All right, who else? We got any other names? What would we do, Liz? Liz is the biz. Liz. I don't know, Joe. We're not good at this. I think we need to
Yeah.
drink some more to figure that out.
A lot more.
A lot more.
A lot
I'm
more.
I'm so sorry on behalf of Joe Cicero talking about chafing in April. I'm not really sure where that came from. She's offended, Joe,
It's hard to offend me, Joe.
and she's single. Just saying, you can take her on a date and make up to it.
Apologize. Yeah.
Apologize.
My husband did send me his horror story of finding out.
Oh, good.
Okay, what does it say?
So he was in 4th grade, and the
Aw.
teacher asked, in school, the 4th grade
See?
teacher asked, "Who still here believes
Crazy.
in Santa? Raise your hands." Nobody raised their hands, and then I remember him telling me, he's like, because everyone's like, nobody wants to be that person who
Right.
raises their hand.
Right.
Okay, great. Since everybody knows the truth, we have letters from kindergartners we need to open and type responses to.
That's what they did.
Mm.
4th
Huh.
grade.
I don't
Liz on
remember
the
when I
Wiz.
found
Liz
it.
on
I
the
feel like it wasn't
Whiz. That's
traumatic
right,
enough.
Melissa. Oh, look. Joe did the same thing. Liz in the Whiz, and Melissa said Liz on the Whiz. So she could be in the Whiz or on the Whiz.
I mean, it's always questionable.
I mean, that is true. Ask Kevin. Does he want to be on the Whiz or
With
in the Whiz
yeah,
later?
yeah.
A little of both. A little of both.
Right? A little bit
It's
of
fine.
in and out, right? I don't know. Yes.
I have a story of with my cousin and my stepdad on Christmas. So my cousin felt like when he became of age that he could pick a fight and wrestle with my stepdad after he had
There's a
been
lot of
drinking.
physical altercations at your home.
yeah, we don't hold back in my family. We're all fine.
They
So
don't know how to
Last
use
week,
their words.
last week we had
Yeah.
a lot. Last week there was many stories of
Of violence.
So my cousin thought he could take my stepdad. He had been kind of drinking, and you don't do that because men over a certain age have old man strength, which is very different than normal strength.
Old
So-
man string.
I've never
Yes.
heard of this before.
So my cousin, who was probably like
inherited.
18 or 19 at the time, jumped on his back and tried to choke him out from
Mm.
behind.
This,
So
is,
then-
this was at a holiday.
This is a lot.
Yeah, it's at my house.
This is a
Well, my
lot.
mom's house. So
She
then,
says it so like, yeah,
She's
it was,
like, yeah, it was at my
like,
house.
it was like last week. Go ahead.
so then my stepdad somehow was able to like grab him under the one armpit while he was like holding him, and he tossed him with one arm across the whole living room. And then so my cousin forfeited and the fight was over, but my cousin thought he could take him.
How old was the man who threw him across the room?
My stepdad, he had have been probably
Really,
maybe like 45-ish, 47,
part Incredible Hulk.
I mean,
like 45 to
seriously,
50, something like that.
It's
He works-
actually easy to do.
He works
What?
at the airport.
Have you thrown people across the room?
Apparently, Uncle Pete tosses
Who
people
have you
across the room.
thrown
for
across the
under
room,
arm.
Uncle
See?
Pete?
But there is a pressure point underneath the armpit, and if you
Oh.
catch that with your thumb, it's extremely easy to launch people. Just
Yeah.
they'll do most of the work for you.
I
and if
think
you
we
put your
should
hip
try
into
that.
Well,
it-
for all you folks at home, please send in your videos of launching your family members across
We're
the
gonna
room
need to clear the room.
with the armpit thing.
I know. Seriously,
Yeah.
I've never heard of that in my
Oh,
entire life.
like nobody in your family wrestles on a holiday after a few drinks.
no,
My family's
most of
the
the
only
time.
one. We're a bunch
no.
of
We
savages.
did that on Tuesday because we hated each other.
like,
No, my my
Like-
family barely speaks, so no, there's no physical touching. We're lucky if we say hello.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
We're
Yeah.
not allowed.
See, is that how
We're
yours
not
are?
allowed- There's no
We're not
hugging.
allowed
There's
to-
no
to
I love
touch
you.
it.
Ooh,
No,
that's
there's
just-
none. It's like, see how we see her an hour.
ma'am.
Gotta
So-
go.
Okay, well, how
An
about
hour.
this then? On 4th of July,
I host parties at 6.
I mean, my
They're gone by
sister and I, when
7:30.
we were little, would beat each other up.
so on 4th of July, my aunt was being a curmudgeon, like sometimes she is the fun police.
It's one of my favorite words, just so
Yeah.
you know.
Oh,
So she's being the fun police, and we were all having fun, and she didn't want to have fun. So my stepdad threw her over his shoulder, went out of the yard into our neighbor's yard, climbed the staircase, and threw her in the pool.
Wow. So, just so you know, I have been to a family party at her house. I have been to a family party at your
Didn't
house,
witness
and I
any
did not
violence?
witness any violence. Was that before or after I left? Anything that day?
Everybody was on good behavior.
See, there you go. I would like to be invited when there will be
Well,
a
Eli,
shit show.
when you were there, Eli made it rain
He
on
did.
his little
Oh,
girlfriend
my
in the
God.
middle of the
Oh my
living
God.
room.
This is. You need to tell the story because to me,
Oh,
how old is your son again?
He just turned
He's
5.
It was his
5.
fifth birthday.
So it's his 5th birthday, and somebody
Ooh.
gave him money.
Yes,
How much money?
it was like $41.
$41. And what did could you please stand up and emulate the actions of your 5-year-old
$5
when he got it?
I got
Okay.
this. I got.
Why do you have a crap
She's
load
going
of
to the
dollars?
strip club
I
later. Shut
only-
up, Dawn.
All right.
We're gonna ask a lot of
You don't have to. You can't do
So-
that.
You're not going
I
to
got
get
one.
very far at
I
Chippendales
got-
with $2.
Just do it with
I got
everything.
$22. I'm sorry.
All right.
So
All.
Eli opened up his envelope because at first he didn't want to open up the envelope because it wasn't like a big box. He opened it up and he's like, "Ooh, there's money!" And he took the money out and he goes all over
He
his little
made it
girlfriend.
rain.
Her.
Who does that?
So if you ever give my 5-year-old money, he instantly
Makes it rain.
Makes
Yes.
it rain. I love
Hey,
that.
dinner boobs. Fair.
Where's the heat sensor
God.
from last night?
Well, so
We need
my
Derek back.
my
We need
kid
Derek.
likes to take my hair straightener, and he likes to iron his money.
Your son?
I told you about this before.
I don't remember that.
Oh
Right?
yeah,
One of my sons does.
he irons his money. Like, and literally, like the straightener was out in the bathroom. I'm like,
Have any of the neighborhood pets gone missing
I'm
lately?
like, what is it? But no, he's like, he goes,
Screaming.
he's like, I like it when it's neat. And then so that way, like if he like when he rolls it in the jar, because he puts it in a jar, it all like rolls nice in the jar. He's like, I like it when it looks neat.
That's pretty funny.
But yeah, I'm like, why?
Tracy
who is
Zarni
this
says
thing?
fun
That's
sucker. No, you're a fun sucker because
Yeah,
you
Tracy,
are
'cause
not,
you're
calling. We want to
Yeah.
hear
Lame.
your stories, fun sucker Zarni.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I say. I'm like, that's her elf name. Fun sucker Zarni.
when we go to Florida, we're all going to Tracy's house.
Yes,
Oh.
that's right.
All
We
right,
are.
I'm
I have her
sure.
address. We're gonna
She's
go
not
there
far
and
from
we're
my
gonna
friend
throw
Amy.
shoes at her.
Yes. Heavy shoes.
Heavy
Heavy
shoes.
shoes.
Heavy shoes,
We're gonna,
Tracy.
we're gonna
Stripper
weigh
shoes.
all the shoes at the store before we buy them and buy the heaviest shoes.
Yes.
Clock.
You can't compete with a seasoned chocolate.
Oh, there's a phone call.
There she is.
Oh, Tracy Zarni. Hello.
Here I
Now we won't throw shoes at your head. All right, tell us some of your favorite Elf on the Shelf stories.
am. Well, I've been doing it for several years. He retired last year.
I know we're very sad about that.
So last year's hammock story is probably one of my favorites.
Okay, tell us.
I put him in my bra and said, "Ooh, I found a hammock."
Oh, she did. She had her bra strung across. She did do that.
That's adorable.
That's good. All right, what other ones? Give us some other ones.
And the other one I did was a lemonade stand, and I had him
Oh, that's right.
standing backward, and I had little tiny see-through shot glasses with lemonade in it, and so it looked like he was peeing in the
Shot glasses. I mean, she's very creative.
Oh my
Tracy.
God.
Tracy, tell us any kind of crazy. You have a crazy family. Speaking from
Whoa.
experience,
Name it.
a South Side. Tell us a funny holiday story that you have. Your favorite holiday crazy story.
Oh, my nephews and my niece's favorite holiday story is when my sister bought my eldest son a tub of dress-up clothes. You know, just like she had gone after Halloween and picked up tons of other costumes and stuff like that were super cheap.
Yeah.
And filled an entire tub of it when he was about 3 years old. And then at Christmas time, so he was 3, the other one was 2, and they decided to get in the tub together. And then Owen didn't want Quinn, the older one, didn't want the younger one in the tub. So he punched him square in the face. And just as he punched him, someone flicked a picture.
So you actually have a picture?
Favorite.
Oh man, how can she show a
That's cool.
picture on the TV? That would be great.
Yeah, we could figure it out.
We're gonna figure that out.
I know it's on Facebook.
It's on Facebook. I'm gonna have to find
Can
it.
you-
Beth,
Can you share it in the chat?
can you share it? Yeah, can you share it in the chat?
I don't.
I don't think you could do pictures.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. Well, Tracy's calling us all the way from Tarpon Springs. And you want to know how I know it's Tarpon Springs? Because Tracy,
Perfect.
shut up. When your husband told us that you were moving, what did he call it so we could remember it?
The
Tampon
town is called
Springs?
Tarpon Springs, and I told him that I wouldn't move here if he continued to call it Tampon Springs.
That's correct.
Tampon Springs.
So I always know where she lives though, because he called it Tampon Strings.
Fair enough.
Isn't that
Tampon
great?
Springs. That's
Yeah.
our home.
Yes.
That's
Springs.
So, and I'm actually going to see her in like 22 days.
No, you're not.
Yay, nobody's watching. So, all right, my children don't watch this shit.
No, you're not.
Any ideas, please feel free to go on my Facebook page. All of Ben's shenanigans and antics are labeled in an album by year.
She's not even
Lovely.
kidding.
Okay.
She
Have
is
every
the
bit of confidence.
she is the elf on a shelf queen.
Oh, she
Thank
is.
you, Tracy Zarni from Tampon Strings, Florida, for calling us.
Oh, you are welcome. I will try to find that photo for you and send
Oh
it
yeah, we
off.
need the
Yes,
face punch.
and if you can't find it on the camera, send it to my phone.
You got it. I will do that.
All right, everybody say bye, Tracy.
Bye, Tracy.
Oh my
so
God.
growing up, my dad was
Hilarious.
obsessed with
Tampon
Christmas
Springs?
vacation.
Tampon
We didn't
Strings.
talk about that. Oh no, you
Everyone
never
has
talk
their
about
thing.
that stuff with my dad.
Everyone,
But
I almost went too far.
There's no such thing
There's
there.
no such thing as too far. So Christmas vacation is
yeah,
one
I mean,
of the most.
Never
iconic-
seen it.
That
Oh my
and-
God.
Oh my God! Where
What?
were you? Who raised you?
Cheryl, have you met her?
I talked to her today. Cheryl, we're gonna have words.
okay. Well, anyways, we're watching it.
Oh,
It
apparently.
probably came out when I was in my 20s, didn't it? So it's not her responsibility.
You.
How
I
old
don't
is that movie?
We
It's-
can't. We may
I
not
think
be
it's
able.
late
You need to
It's
go
late
home.
eighties.
Listen, you are on a break from Grey's Anatomy. You need to watch that movie.
I'm not watching.
And we're
Christmas
not okay. Then
Vacation.
we're not talking until you watch it. I'm not your friend
89.
It's
anymore.
funny.
Dead
How do
funny.
you not?
1989.
So
I was.
So
it
you're
was
like
graduating.
20.
I graduated
Yeah.
high school.
what's
in
your
1989.
excuse?
She
I
was born in
too.
1987. She likes to tell me that.
That's like on the same level as Home Alone. Like watching,
Oh,
like
oh my
those
gotta
are like
meme
the
on
same
that.
things. Like on the
But she's probably
I-
never seen that either.
I have seen Home Alone
just watch
multiple times.
Freeform.
Ugh.
It will be on because it's December. Freeform will play all of these.
Fine,
movies.
I will agree to watch your damn Christmas Vacation.
I saw a meme
It's
today
fun.
about.
Have you seen
Home
National
Alone, and it
Lampoon's
says, You know,
Vacation?
you're getting old when you watch Home Alone, and it said, and you just wonder
Have
the
you
whole
seen
time,
Caddyshack?
how much is their mortgage?
My husband used to service the pool. at
Oh
the
my
house.
God. Okay, so viewers, Dawn has not seen the regular Vacation
What?
or National Lampoon and Caddyshack. She hasn't seen
What?
Caddyshack.
I haven't seen Caddyshack,
Oh,
but I've seen all the vacations.
I'm sorry,
who doesn't love that dancing gopher?
but
Thank you.
I know
In
what's
Caddyshack.
on in the background.
this has gone to hell in a
You know what
bobsled.
it was? I remember we all sitting at dinner one night for Christmas.
I don't even
and
know
we're
you
eating.
anymore.
The in-laws are all like, so like my husband's with me, my sister's husband's with, and like all the kids, and there's 6 grandkids at this point. And someone says something about Grace, and my kid is Grace also. My daughter's name is Grace. But then someone was like, someone is gonna say Grace, and all of a sudden, I think me or someone's like, Grace died 40 years ago. And like clockwork, someone else is like, no, the blessing. And all like me and my brother and sister, we just go off, like
Oh.
reciting. And then all of a sudden you're just hecking on a bone.
Thank you, Ashley. Ashley, I always knew I loved you. She's never
Oh.
seen them either.
Ashley,
said you're
check it
fired.
out because you're normal.
Oh, wait, can you click on that link?
Ashley, you got to watch these things.
So,
You'll find them
Dawn, you
hilarious.
just got fired from your own show.
How did I get
Tracy
She's
said
fired,
you're
yeah.
fired.
Yeah, I mean seriously.
You can't fire the host.
Yes, you're fired. Until
I-
you've watched all of these movies,
Oh
you
my
may
god.
not come back.
I have brain cells that I'd like to keep.
Have you
No.
watched the Teenage Mutant
No.
Ninja Turtle movie?
Oh, but she's
Absolutely
watched
not.
like 14 million episodes of
I don't know,
Grey's
wait.
Anatomy, people.
Victoria
she's
wants
only
to
on
know,
season 5.
does
Oh,
anyone have
ungrateful
any
kid
ungrateful
story.
kid stories on a daily goddamn basis?
I know,
Victoria?
like seriously, Victoria.
on a daily
Like
goddamn
Christmas
basis,
related
Victoria.
shit.
yeah, just
Every
like
day.
yeah, exactly. Christmas or life in general.
Like yesterday when my son's like, "Can I have $8 for a skin?"
oh,
Skin
no,
in
no, no. What
wait,
was
wait.
what was he called you the other day about
For
something
video
because he was so upset and he's like,
Meaning, like,
"Can
a
I have
different-
V-Bucks so I'll feel better?"
Oh yeah. My ungrateful little, I don't know, skins for some stupid game.
It's
Probably
for
Bridgeworm.
Stupid games.
Fortnite.
Fortnite.
Yeah,
Stupid
I don't even know
games.
what that is.
it's a video game on
Stupid.
a computer.
No, dude, no.
Ungrateful little.
Unlike good movies like Caddyshack and Vacation, you're not missing out on not knowing about Fortnite.
Okay.
Fortnite is a
Dawn.
ridiculous, stupid game that sucks my wallet dry every time my kids are like, "Is it a bad baby? Can I have $8?"
Yeah.
Will you go to bed now for $8? I'm gonna kill you.
He did try that on me today. He's like, well, I'll do that for $2. I was like,
No,
I do it to wash your hands.
Seriously.
You'll do it because I said so.
He does try it on me.
Thank
all
you,
the time.
Ashley. Ashley has seen all of the Grey's
They must be
Anatomy
afraid.
episodes. I'm only on
Don't
season
encourage
5.
her,
It's
Ashley.
because we never did Elf on the Shelf.
So,
Right.
yes,
That's
Victoria.
probably why.
Why?
Because we didn't do Elf on a Shelf. We don't have like
I
this
just said my
issue.
kids must be terrified of me. None of this happens at my house.
None of it?
No.
Oh my God.
If I tell my
So-
kids to do something, they just get up and do it. Even my
Mine
20-year-old gets up and like there's no negotiation, there's no conversation.
Did you throw shoes at
The
their head?
shoe
No,
or
I
the
just
money
stare
thing?
quietly at them.
Like,
The
you
money
need
thing,
show
that
me.
was her
Like,
child.
okay,
That's scary.
I am Matt. I did something to disappoint you. Give it to me. Give me the scare. I need to learn it.
Oh, yeah, I
if
just
I
stare.
cry a little, oh my god.
Oh, the cry! You
Oh,
gotta
God.
use that
I
sparingly.
get really sad. Like,
Especially-
I'm not
yeah.
even mad at
Really?
you guys.
I'm
Like,
so
I am just
disappointed. I'm so
so
upset.
frustrated
Mhm.
that clearly what I've taught you is not stuck. And
Yep.
I cry.
You leave Grey's out of this.
Who said
Can
that?
you do that to
Thank
that
you,
camera
Nisa.
Right there.
Yeah.
Did you do the look?
No, I don't know. Like,
Is
I
there
guess
a
I'd have
lot?
to have one of my kids
Just
call
make her
me.
really angry.
But, I mean,
I
Or
mean,
there's like the eyebrow raise. Like,
Oh, that's scary.
yeah, like that. Just a straight,
Yeah.
just look.
Really? So you're
Yeah.
saying, oh, your
Eyebrows.
nostrils are flaring. Okay, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
See,
But I will tell you, I am very scary when I am pushed to the point.
Yeah.
I was
course.
so scary one time that she told me that my son had done something. He was disrespectful to her. I don't remember what it was.
oh, it was bad.
I was so mad at him on the phone that I was talking like this, like I swear to
And he
God.
knew. He
And
knew.
she was like, I hung up and she was
Yeah.
like, can you call Liz? I want to apologize for him. I'm
Hmm.
so sorry. Like,
Oh.
I can get scary, mean.
We don't
That's
yell in
when
my
they
house
push it.
either. I don't
You
yell.
don't yell?
No.
Yeah,
it's
they're not
just
allowed
physical-
to talk to me from
physical
another
up.
room. There's no talking to me from another room. Like
What?
I used. Oh,
Do your kids
Yeah.
call you from upstairs or downstairs?
they're if they want to text me or call me on the phone, they can. But they do not yell at me from another room in the
yeah,
house.
see,
and
I
they
don't
don't
because
yell
I'm
at
just
each
like,
other.
I can't hear you.
We even when we first moved to Illinois, we moved from a huge farmhouse in the middle of nowhere in Iowa, super cheap, right? Moved to Libertyville, super expensive.
Right.
1,200 square foot condo, open living space, 2 bedrooms. If they yelled at me from their bedroom and I was in the kitchen, which was probably 20 feet, they were in trouble.
Really?
You come into this room and you speak to me in a
Do you know what I'm
normal
learning
voice.
from this show? I'm a terrible parent.
No, it's just different.
My parents, my
It's
kids
not
rule
good or
me.
bad.
It's the
It's
mensch on the
different.
bench.
It's just
It
different.
is. It's all fell apart.
the
Bench. It's the Jewish
all
bench
his
on a
fault.
bench.
It's
See,
all
I
that.
knew
It's
it.
all that
All his fault.
commitment.
Yes. Ashley says, come on over. We can Netflix them. And then Jen, you can come too.
Yeah, see, thanks, Ashley.
Great. Can't
Yep,
wait,
yep.
Ashley. 3
I
minutes.
don't know
What?
that I've seen
3
Cats.
minutes?
3
Yeah.
minutes?
Look at the
Actually,
timer.
it's like 2.
What happened? Oh my God. Well, that
You
was
had fun. That's what happened.
That was fun. It's
You're doing a
really
good job.
3
Don't be
minutes?
so sad.
I'm really sad. Is this what happens? And then you guys will all feel bad for me and not yell at me?
No, because you better watch
Never
all
yell
of those
at you.
movies.
I'm
or
not
we're never
watching any of
talking to
those
you
things.
again. Oh my God.
Okay,
Totally
so
watching
just a quick question. We have 2 minutes left. Are you in town or out of town for the holiday?
I'm in town.
I don't
In town
know,
or out of town for the
Margot.
holiday?
In town.
In town or out of town for the holiday?
Mentally or physically?
Physically.
Physically.
I checked out 2 years ago.
In town or out of town? You don't know yet,
My
right?
mind
I
is
don't
in
know.
Hawaii.
Probably
Oh, my God.
here for Christmas, gone for New Year's.
Okay, and I'm out. See ya. So
No, you're not. I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about either. But so we will be back next week, next Wednesday for Whining with Dawn. We're not sure what we're talking about, but we will be having some good times and good conversations. We are going to do this call-in thing again, so we'll have you guys be able to call in and ask questions. And is there anything else? Any parting words that we have with the 2
Please
minutes?
message us all of the movies you think that Dawn should have watched in order to be a functioning adult in today's society. Thank you.
No, after Grey's Anatomy.
No.
Have you watched Grey's Anatomy?
Nope.
I watched
Anybody
the
know
first
anybody
several
at
seasons,
Netflix
and
that
then I
can
kinda
get
just dropped
that
off.
pulled off of Grey's Anatomy or off
No.
of the Netflix?
Have you ever
lineup?
watched Grey's Anatomy?
No.
Look at her face. She's like,
Look at her. She's like, no, and then I
I
don't
got
care to
better
even.
shit to
Did
do.
you ever watch it?
Yeah.
That's like a medical show, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
do
but
it's
that.
There's
not.
a
It's
lot of
like
drama.
it's basically like Days of Our Lives, but a better budget.
In-laws.
In-laws,
We wanna talk
yes.
about in-laws next
Totally,
week.
Tracy Zarni. Exactly.
In-laws. Never heard of it.
I didn't
So-
actually like that one.
No.
No.
Grey's
They died.
Anatomy premiered in
As long as I didn't care.
2005. I
She
was
needs
in
to watch
Shut up.
Sorry, they
the other
passed.
ones for sure.
Big Dylan.
Well,
I
anyway.
didn't watch it. I watched
Anyway.
it
All right, everybody. Well,
You got
for
30 seconds.
30 seconds. So thank you for tuning in. We would all like to say goodbye. And until next week, we will see you for Whining with Dawn. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye. Seriously?